Hey everybody, Unstable Gamer here, and welcome back to Disney Sorcerer's Arena. In this video, we have the July top 10 and all characters ranked. We're going to go ahead and see who lost some spots, who gained some spots, and what the tier list looks like right now. But first, before we get into all that, if you're just now finding this channel and you want to stay up to date with this and other games, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out. All right, and welcome back. So we are going to be saying goodbye to two members of last month's top 10, but first, before we get into that, just a couple reminders. All of my social media links are in the description of every single video, and I stream every Saturday on YouTube as well as Twitch, so definitely check me out there. I do put my schedule out on the community chat as well on my channel, just so everybody knows times and everything. So if you're interested, take a look at that. I usually post them Friday and Saturday. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this. We do, like I said, we do have two members of last month's top 10 leaving us this month, and that is going to be Mordu and Sorcerer Mickey. Both great tunes, great characters, but there has been a lot of movement and a last-minute addition to this top 10, which is why it took me a little bit of time to go ahead and get this out, because we're moving towards the end of July now, and I wanted to have this out a little bit earlier, but I needed time to test one of the newest members of the roster. So let's go ahead. We'll just jump right into it. We're going to go through our top 10, then we'll switch on over and go through the spreadsheet with all of our characters on there. And as always, there will be a link in the description below to the spreadsheet that I have out on Google Drive, so you can download it and you can do whatever you want with it. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into it right here. Kristoff. So in no particular order whatsoever, it's just these top 10 characters. These are characters that you want to farm. Most of them are pretty easily farmable, and you can collect pretty easy, and they're going to help you get further along in this game, and they are going to be beneficial for you in multiple game modes. So Kristoff is quickly becoming, if not already, the premier tank in the game. Is a fantastic tank with a lot of utility. The synergy with Anna and that chemistry right there just works out really well. Very tough tank. He gives buffs to his team members. He summons these trolls that help out quite a bit. And what I mean by that is you could use these trolls in some very strategic ways. A lot of the times I'll just use them to heal Kristoff, to help him out a little bit there. Sometimes I'll put a taunt on one of his trolls so that that troll gets taken out instead of somebody else. And then what that does is that's going to give Kristoff some, it's going to cleanse and heal him. So definitely helps there. There was one time in tournament where the troll was the last man standing, and that won the battle for me right there. All right, so he's got a lot of good utility here. I think it's great. Definitely worthy of being in the top 10. And next, we're going to be going into Hades. Hades has been in the top 10 for quite some time. It does some massive damage. And what I really like about Hades, I like the AoE damage. I like the continuous damage the debuff that he puts on your opponent's team. The additional damage he does with his special when they do have continuous damage, which really helps him with other teams, not just where I have him right now with the Frozen team, with him and Hiro, but with a continuous damage team. Works well with Scar, works well with Demona. He's got a lot of versatility in the game. Use him in tower. Same with Kristoff. Kristoff useful in the tower and PvP. Same with him, tower, PvP. Obviously, he's mythical, and we're needing mythical characters for the Stitch Tower and for other events as well. So one of the best in the game. Really great character. He's come a long way, and a really good early farm. So now he is now farmable in a node. He's not just restricted to the tournament exchange, which I think is helpful. Really will allow you to farm him and unlock him and star him up quickly. Now, my fear is because him and Shan Yu are now out of the tournament exchange and they're easily farmable, we may see these characters go towards the wayside, and other characters come in that are just going to be better. And we're already seeing some fantastic characters come into the game. So Hades is our number 2. Aladdin continues to stay in the top 10 because he is so good in the Kingdom team. His synergy with Jasmine and also with Genie, the rework that team got is absolutely fantastic. The healing, I don't know. I like the healing. I think there's something cool about anybody who does the self-heal. It's very minimal. It's nothing that's going to change the tide of battle for you. But I love the carpet and the slow that you get from on all flanking characters, and he does some nice damage as well. So really good character, really good early on. You get him early on, and you can farm him and star him up pretty quick. So he is definitely worthy of being in the top 10. All right, Shan Yu continues to stay in the top 10. He is our number 4. And with him, I mean, you have this ability right here. I needed to double check this. So 50% chance for this character to gain offense up. But right here, all flanking opponents inflict defense down. Now, this may come in pretty handy with some of the Oceanic characters because we have some new characters coming into the game that take advantage of defense down. So that'll be something pretty interesting to play around with. But that ability there, his ability to take an extra turn when he takes somebody out, his crit and everything, his leader ability is really what pushes him up towards the top. And it's an 8% bonus speed to Kingdom characters. That's actually a little bit less than a new character in the game, too. So he's got 8%. This other character's got 10%. We'll talk about him in just a little bit. But Shan Yu continues to dominate in the top 10. Also, one of the best teams in the game. The top 2 teams in the game, in my opinion, is Frozen team or some variant of Frozen. And then, obviously, the Kingdom team. And there's different variants of the Kingdom team as well. So both of those are fantastic teams. All right, so there we go. That is 4 so far. So let's go to number 5. Jasmine was not in the top 10, and I did look. She has not been in previous top 10s, but because of the rework that they did with the Aladdin team, I feel that she belongs in the top 10. She's a fantastic tank, and they really buffed Raja up to be a awesome tank, and it's really based off of Jasmine's stats. So this is one where you can boost her defense to give Raja more defense, or you can boost her speed on this one. Now, I don't necessarily recommend speed for tanks. I have been playing around with it. You may have seen a speed on Kristoff, but you put a speed stone on Jasmine here in order to bring up Raja more frequently, and it doesn't do anything to remove the buff any sooner, the taunt any sooner, like it would on other tanks, right? Because once that turn comes up, then the taunt's going to go away. When her turn comes up, Raja's taunt doesn't go away. So I think speed does make sense for her, but defense does as well, because again, her base stats influence Raja's defense and Raja's tank ability. So very cool character, does great job. Also, the synergy that she has with Aladdin and the assists that can happen there. Plus, she has her special acrobatic assault that gives her evade as well. So great character to have right there, and one that you can get early on, and again, easily farmable. So that's number 5. So let's go to the next 5. Zurg. I think Zurg, I think there's 3 characters on this list that are event characters, and Zurg is one of them. Fantastic, and is doing really well with paired up with Hiro lately. But he's a really fun character to watch. He's great with Kristoff when you give Zurg the crit when Kristoff taunts. I like that synergy there. His ability, Rapid Ion Blaster, is fun to watch. Zurg Vision, when you take out an opponent and allows you to take an additional turn. Just his passive, this massive Ion Blast right here. So on turn start, deal almost 1,200 damage to opponent with the highest health percentage. And then it chains to all other opponents, dealing some additional damage there too. So it's just a great character to have. He's fun. He's a downtown villain, and you definitely want your downtown villain team as well. So there you go with Zurg. Next, one of the newest members of the team. Let's see. No new members, right? Here's our first new member. Is going to be Hiro. Hiro is amazing. You see him in a ton of different variants, especially with the Frozen team. I've seen him in variants of the Kingdom team. He fits into so many different teams. Now, I had a hard time placing him when we go to my tier chart, because I didn't want to make him, like an S tier character, because he still doesn't have his team. He's a fantastic character, and just the synergy he has with tech characters and Big Hero 6, I think is going to be even better. But right now, without that, he does amazing. He does a fantastic job. He has his micro barrier there. I mean, I've seen shields where it's you see like this much health, and you got 4 times the shield there. I think shields in this game are getting a little bit, I don't want to say a tweak or a rework or anything, but they're becoming a little more essential. Not necessarily essential, I guess, but much more usable than they were before with Violets or Tinks. Shields there. His shield is absolutely awesome. So Micro Barrier is awesome. Upgrades, pulls forward any tune that you want in, to have them attack next. A lot of times you'll see Hiro pull forward Elsa or pull forward Hades or Zurg, get those extra attacks in. I like pulling forward Zurg because you get that initial attack on his start, and then you get an attack there. You can get 3 attacks out of that, actually, if you use Zurg's second ability to take out an opponent, and then you go for a 3rd attack. It's just, he's got a lot of utility here, and I would say he is the best support in the game. And then Microwave, this one right here, so on start Hiro, and 1 random Big Hero 6 teammate gains charge. So he gains these charges, which powers up this right here. So it adds 388 shield per charge on Hiro and consumes those charges. So the more charges that Hiro has on him, the more shield that he's gonna be able to give. And then he's a leader. Now him, so this guy here gives tech teammates 10% speed. There are no other tech characters in the game right now, nobody else with the tech tag, but can you imagine once you get a full tech team together and you have 10% speed, depending on who those characters are going to be, oh my gosh, this is going to give the Kingdom team a run for their money, or just knock them off the top of the charts altogether. But Hiro is a great character, definitely worthy of being in the top 10. Our next one after that is going to be Ana. Ana is great, just the synergy she has with Kristoff, especially with her leader ability right here on battle start. If Kristoff is a teammate, then increase his speed meter by 20% per frozen teammate, including himself. So if a lot of variants, you're going to see him, Ana and Elsa, they're 60% right there. And then you're going to see Hiro and Hades, or Hiro and Dash. You see a lot of frozen with Dash as well. So a lot of synergy there, a lot of healing, a lot of speed right here. This one right here, grant haste to self and adjacent teammates. So typically you'll see her front and center in the middle, and then behind her, the two characters behind her are the ones that you're going to want to give those speed to. So again, Elsa is typically in the back there, along with Hades or whoever you want to put back there, Dash. So does a fantastic job there. I do like this one as well. Again, a lot of utility with her doing this AoE damage and offense down on all your opponents, which is really good. She's just, this team was put together very, very well, and the synergy was put together very, very well with two characters, Olaf and Sven, who could be easily swapped out. So that is Ana, again, worthy of being in the top 10. Next is Elsa. You can't have a top 10 without Elsa. Fantastic character. She's got a silence. Once you get her spirits up to 4 and she becomes empowered, then her basic does 2 attacks. You got the initial attack, and then you have a chain attack that comes in right after that. Her silence can do silence adjacent enemies as well. The show yourself does so much damage, especially if you wait. Now, a lot of times I will see other people, and I've suggested this as well, that I will do show yourself right in the beginning, get her up to 4 spirits right away in that empowered state, because the frozen battles last so long. So if you can get that show yourself to go off twice, once in the beginning and then once towards the end, you typically will see that battle change. I've been losing before, and I've gotten that show yourself towards the end of a battle, and I've turned that battle around, and I've been able to win that. So great there. And the glacial armor here, I like this. So if the character begins battle with full health, so the first time they get knocked down to dead, then then she cleanses herself of harmful effects, removes taunt from this character, gains stasis for 1 turn, gains a shield equal to 15% of her max health, and if Ana's a teammate, then grant her 1 magic and evade. So she has kind of a fail-safe there as well. Not that she can't be taken out, because we've been able to take her out before, but she just takes a little bit extra in order to take her out. Great character there. She is an event character, and you are going to need your Frozen team every other member of your Frozen team up to 7-star if you want to unlock Elsa at 7-star. But in order to unlock her at 5-star, to first unlock her, you need to get all those characters up to 5-star, and then you'll be able to get her unlocked. They're all easily farmable as well out of the Tournament Exchange, Club Exchange, and Nodes. So definitely take a look at that. Also, my farming guide, the video that I have. If you haven't seen that, I'll go ahead and link it up right over there. But I talk about that as well. All right, and then finally, I think that's it, right? One more we have Dash. Again, you see Dash with a lot of Frozen team. He's the best member of the Incredibles team, in my opinion. I think I've been saying that for quite a while. Does some massive damage. You get some crits on him, and he blows everybody out of the way. There's really the only thing to say about this guy is he's quick. He gets some additional attacks. You get his charges up there and increase the amount of damage that he can do. He's a downtown hero. So when you use the hammer on this guy, he's going to come back and get that invincible. So a great character to have and add to your roster. He's part of an event as well, the Incredibles event. So something you're going to want to build towards. You just need the Incredibles team to kind of work through that. So there is your top 10. And again, we had to say goodbye to Mordu and Sorcerer Mickey. But this top 10 is a fantastic list of characters. And this top 10 will help you in all aspects of this game. So let's go ahead and take a look at the spreadsheet. Let's take a look at the tier list and go through some of the changes that we went through with the tier list and where some people have moved around. So I'll see you over there in just a second. All right, and here we go. So we have the updated tier list right here. So down here at the bottom, once you get in here, you have the farming guide tier list and everything down here at the bottom. The monthly top 10, I have all previous top 10s in here along with the link to the video. I will fill out July's here later today or tomorrow. And here is all the characters ranked. So just to kind of go over some changes that was made here, some additions. So Hiro, I got him in S class. I really wanted to put him in A because he doesn't have his tech and he doesn't have Big Hero 6. So I didn't want to say that he's the best of the best when we haven't even seen him at his best. But I mean, he's just so good, as we discussed in a bunch of different teams, pulling people forward with having his shield and everything like that. He's a great addition to a bunch of different types of teams, so I had to put him in the S class. He's awesome there. So he joins everybody else up here as well. Let's see, what else? What other additions? So Chunk and Lotso, I put down here in A. I think they're both pretty good, and I think Chunk makes a good downtown villain tank. So when you're working on your downtown villains team, I would definitely work on Chunk. I'd pull out, Jangles, because originally I added Jangles to the DTV team because I wanted some sort of tank in there. But now that we got Chunk, and Chunk is needed for the Lotso event, it makes sense to work on Chunk, and he's a fun tank. He really is. He's a lot of fun to play around with. Lotso, good support. I've got him here at A as well. Jasmine, we moved up. Jasmine I had down, I believe, in the C tier here, and because of the rework that she went through, I moved her up into A, the A tier up here. And I really got to come up with some different names for this. I know I've said this a few different times, but that's where Jasmine has landed. Now, where else? What else? Genie. I had Genie down a little bit more because of the rework. Again, with that Aladdin team, I bumped Genie up to B tier. Big Baby, I have down here in the C tier. When you take a look at those three characters, Big Baby, Chunk, and Lotso, that came out together. Chunk and Lotso, a lot of utility. They work really well together. Big Baby is just kind of in my opinion. Not a whole lot there. You put him in with the DTV team, though. I mean, if you're going to make a downtown villain Toy Story team, then you're going to have Big Baby, Chunk, Lotso. You're going to throw in Zurg in there as well. But just, you know, a lot of fun with that team there if you want a downtown villain Toy Story team. I think we need one more character in there for that. So I moved Baby down here into C tier. And then I think that's really all the changes that we made. I do have this new one here. So these Stitch, Cobra Bubbles, and Captain Gontu, they will be ranked in a future update. Not a whole lot. They just came out yesterday, so there's not a whole lot that we know about them. I do have all of them unlocked, and I am playing around with them with different teams and things like that. And the Oceanic team looks like a pretty fun team. Now, Cobra and Captain are pretty easy to farm, but then you have Stitch that you can only get out of the Stitch Tower. That tower's about to close here any minute now, and we don't know when that Stitch Tower is going to come back. So it's difficult to get Stitch up to a 7-star. Right now, I think I got him at a 4-star. But so they will be ranked in a future one. And then just the color legend. These are pretty universal. If you look at tier lists, if you look at a bunch of different stuff, blue is for defense, red is for offense, and green is for support. So those are the most recent changes that were made to the characters tier list. So let's take a look at the spell tier list. Move some things around. I have the previous months for these as well. So we have May, June, and July. Some changes here. Anything in green in the current one have moved up from the previous month. Anything in red has moved down from the previous month. So 2 spells that have moved up. Fairy Slumber and Mortal Potion. One thing that I've noticed with the spells and the reworks and everything that are happening with these, it seems like they're almost eliminating AoE type spells, AoE effect type spells. Because a lot of these spells that we used to use early on, like Wild Imagination, things like that, they would do the debuffing across the entire team. Now it's you do some damage to the team, but the debuff is only isolated to that targeted character. So a lot of changes there. So one thing I've noticed is as these reworks are done, you take a look at the AoE type spells that haven't been touched yet, and those are the ones that are being used more and more because everything is kind of just, I don't know if it's settling or what, but I guarantee you we're probably going to see some more reworks on some more spells because they seem to be working through all of them. So Mortal Potion, great job for removing taunt and additional buffs. Fairy Slumber is being used quite a bit now to put your opponents to sleep. So those 2 have moved up. Moving down is the Claw and Wild Imagination. The Claw I had up here in S. I'm not using it a whole lot anymore. I use it here and there. I also have seen other higher levels of PvP use here and there, but not a whole lot. Again, that's more of kind of a mid-game spell. So those 2 move down, and that's pretty much the only movement that happened in the July spell tier list. Wow, I'm having a hard time enunciating right now. All right, so there we go with the character list and the spell tier list. I'll go ahead and pop back over here into the character tier list. And there you go, everybody. That's what I have for you today. The top 10, all characters ranked, and the new spell tier list as well. A lot that we went over. Definitely let me know your thoughts on the top 10 and the tier lists. And before this video goes on too long, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it all up. All right, everybody, as always, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch the video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts and questions in the comments section below. Take care, everybody, and we'll talk to you next time.